Hi guys, it's Steve Shaw. Thanks for your time last week. I just want to send you a quick video basically presenting my ideas. We can follow this up with another conversation. Last time I sort of cut off the questions because it just sort of, I felt I had enough to give you a solution, but I think this is a good starting point, and if you think it's worthwhile, I can go through those longer series of questions just to get a better understanding of the business. But look, I hope this resonates, and feel free to let me know what you think. So I've done it in a bit of a PowerPoint presentation here. Now, obviously, name hasn't changed, Understairs Ink, but I did sort of explore an idea of having story tattoo, but look, I think Understairs Ink works. It's got obviously a meaning behind your story, but I think from the conversations I had with you guys, it was important for the clients to tell a story. So Understairs Ink, where stories live on the skin. So every tattoo has a story, a memory, a voice, a truth. Most studios focus on the ink. We focus on the story. At Understairs Ink, we believe every tattoo is a chance to be seen, to be heard, and to express who you are. So I think ultimately the pain point of the client is they want to be heard. That's the reason why they go to tattoo. That's why they contact or they copy other people's tattoos. They all want to sort of be heard and be noticed in society. Which is sort of, I've just sort of clarified here the problem. They crave attention. So people want to be heard, not just inked. In a world full of noise and filters, people crave meaning. They want to tell their story, to be heard. Understairs Ink doesn't just create stories, we create living stories that carry emotion, purpose, and connection. So obviously the first story is your story. So you've got that on the website already. Pictures of Robertson's apartment where he practiced on fake skins and then moved it into his own studio. And that's the full story I've got from your website. What I want to do is build a sales funnel based on the story experience. So first thing, when someone walks in the door, they get offered a coffee and you provide it in a custom mug, which has got your logo, Understands the Ink. And on the other side, you've got your story of Robertson and how this tattoo studio started. You then ask them why did they want to get a tattoo and listen to their story. You design and ink it, and then a week later you send them out a gift, which is a story mug. It's still got the Understairs Ink logo, but on the back of it, it's actually got their story. So our experience starts with our story, printed on the mug we serve you. Then we listen to your story, design it, ink it, and finally hand you a mug with your story printed on it. It's more than a tattoo, it's a ritual of connection. So then goes through the follow-up for referrals. So looking for organic building of the business. So the engine, organic referral system. A week later, we ask who else in your world has a story worth telling. So you've got a happy client, they've got their story mug, you follow it up a week later, and you ask for a referral. The mug becomes a symbol. It sits on their desk, the shelf, a daily reminder of their story in our studio. A week later, we check in and thank you and ask a single question that sparks organic referrals. It's personal, powerful, and effortless. So basically, they can take that mug to work or at home, and obviously it's just going to promote a conversation as well. So even if you didn't make the follow-up call, which I suggest you do, it's going to just promote conversation as well. So the next thing I captured was the majority of clients are coming from inner west, that sort of Newtown theme. So I think you should create a tribe. So basically, to create a tribe, what you need to do is understand those clients and what they look like. So hang out Vic on the Park, Crowbar, Bank Hotel, Wayward Breweries, all the breweries there, Hawke's Brewery, those kind of things. So your target avatars, 25 to 40-year-olds, they're creative, musicians, community-minded, authentic. Key activities. So I would say this to any business. This is not just your business. and I can't charge for it, but the one thing you need to do is you need to network. Every business, they spend 50 to 60 hours on social media, and the reason they fail or struggle or it takes a lot longer is they're not out there networking. So the most successful businesses are networking 40% of their time, which is equivalent to 16 hours a week. So that's where they came from. And the networking, I appreciate this is new to you, but I think it's just a matter of being seen out in those same places that your target market's going. So going to gigs, going to pubs, arts, live music. So our people are the soul of Newtown: creative, expressive, authentic. We invest 16 hours a week simply being present at gigs, pubs and arts events. No sell, but to connect. That's how real trust is built. So the next thing is community return on investment, the musician deal for Newtown. So to sort of get in with that crowd, what I'm suggesting is you have a relationship with the music venues, and then you promote a deal to the musicians. So basically what I mean by that is any musician that, say, plays a Vic on the Park, you say to Vic on the Park, we will give you a benefit by them playing at your venue, of we get them a discount on their tattoos if they come to us. So that's a win for the musicians who are probably going to get tattoos anyway. It's a win for the venue because it's a bit of a value add, and it's obviously a win for you guys as well. So creating win-win-win is always the way to build your business. The next thing is a campaign. So obviously you guys have got a campaign going with Find the Tattoo. Nothing wrong with that. You can keep doing it as well. But ultimately what I want to do is create people coming to you. So how do you attract your ideal client who want to come to you? So the campaign is your story, our ink. The mechanics of it is someone submits a video sharing their tattoo story idea, creates community vibe, and the winner each month, or however you want to do it, gets a free tattoo. But basically what you can do is you're capturing heaps of people. They're going to share their stories, and you share that on your Instagram as well. So I think that's sort of a really cool way of doing it. And to be honest, once they start sharing their story, they're more likely to go to you because you understand the story. But it's just going to promote a lot of paying customers that probably go, well, look, I've shared my story now, I may as well get a tattoo, even if I didn't win it. So that's how I think is a good way of just sort of building a community vibe and creating more potentials. What you want to do is if they are posting it, you share it on their Instagram as a collaborator, but you also get them on your database of people to contact going forward as well. So the next thing is, this is not the fun one, but it's one that reality everyone needs to do. You need to make a profit. So sustainable storytelling. Your target is $21,800 a month. How did I come up with that? It was based on the $2,500 a month expenses, and then paying yourself a wage of $80,000 each to live off, and then on top of that, making 30% profit. So you can play with those numbers, but basically that is based on you would be able to provide 2 large tattoos a day, 5 days a week, plus bed rentals and the merchandise of the story mug. And I think that is a good way of just sort of taking away the effort of how do we price this tattoo. You already know how it works because that's your end goal, and that's your motivation to make sure you charge appropriately. And the execution, so how do you do that? It'll be over 90 days. The first thing is just finalising that brand identity, the logo and the mug, your websites. You might just want to adjust the wording to be a bit more in line with this. The next thing is to get out there and build that community partnership. So with the venues, secure 5 venue deals and musician discounts. The next 30 days is launching a campaign, hosting a first live music storytelling event. So I think with all the businesses that get out there, they do an event. I know you guys have done an event already, but it might be worth, once you sort of build this all up and you basically built this relationship with the venues, that you go do an event where it's got live music, but it's also playing in an idea to share your stories as well. So I think you've got that consistent theme of the stories, live music, local venues, and local community. So the vision, future is meaningful. So where do you want to be in 1 year? Year from now, you want to be fully booked calendar, a loyal tribe that's local, and a reputation as Sydney's most meaningful tattoo studio. The goal isn't just profit, it's culture, community, and arts that last. So that's it, guys. Hope that's makes sense. Love to hear your feedback either way. It's your business. Don't feel like you have to do it this way. It's just an ideas, I guess, from my experience of helping businesses, running my own business, that I think will help you to achieve your goal. And it's really driven by the conversations we already had, the ideas that you've expressed. If you think that I haven't captured your ideas, I suggest you could either leave it, or we have another conversation, as I said, where we just go a bit more in depth with those conversations to really just make sure we're capturing your vision and where you want to take the business. So I hope that works. Cheers, guys.